cloud deployment model. Okay, so cloud deployment model, you have multiple ways to provide the functionalities of cloud. Okay, when I say functionalities of cloud, so as I told you, cloud has got a lot of characteristics and benefits, and some of the key benefits. So you can bring those key benefits to your own data center also. So how do we bring that? So what are the products that are available to bring that particular cloud offering to on premises? That is what we are going to understand now. So this is based on the location of your cloud environment. So cloud deployment model. So what are the characteristics we are talking about? We are talking about on-demand delivery of IT infrastructure services via a particular platform, and you can pay based on the consumption, right? That is what we generally call it as cloud. So now we have public cloud, which is completely provided by third party, and you have general public can access it, and you can access it through the public internet. So that's the word public keyword there. And so when I say public internet, you can access it through wide area network, your internet network, or you can also access it using VPN as a private network. But yeah, that is on a need basis. And you have one more category called private cloud. So private cloud, it's for dedicated organization or a particular company, right? It is for a dedicated organization mainly, and organization is nothing but group of companies. Even it can be for a dedicated corporation, and this is for your intranet access. You will have access from your local area network. Here it is wide area network internet. Here you can access the particular private cloud because it is for a particular customer. You can access it through LAN, local area network, or you can access it through virtual private network. And there are some sub components, subtypes within private cloud. We call it as managed private cloud or hosted private cloud. So I'll come to that. Okay, I'll explain that shortly. And there is another concept which is called hybrid cloud, which is a combination of public and private. Okay, so I'll explain what are the different categories which is needed for this. And also we have this community cloud, and we also have this multi-cloud concept these days. So now let's explain or understand one by one. So especially the hybrid cloud. So we have a lot of variety of use cases. So some customers, they go and have their front end application in on premises, or sorry, in the cloud, public cloud, and they will have the backend databases where exactly the business data is stored will be on your private on premises data center. Okay, so you will have the business critical data, the backend databases or application data will be stored in your on-premises, whereas the front end through which you are allowing the users to access globally. So with that, front end web applications or application will be hosted on the public cloud, whereas the backend will be stored on your on-premises. The data will be stored on your on-premises data center. So in other case, the other way around, some people want to take care of their data, and they want to take care of the data backup. In the traditional days, in the olden days, what we used to do in our traditional data center, we used to have a offsite copy. So when I say offsite copy, during those days we used to have tape libraries where we go and configure the tapes on tape library on a backup software like your Symantec, or you have net backup or whatever. So you configure from the backup software, you connect it to the tape library, and you start storing them in the tape, and the tapes will be kept in a offsite location. If the data center location comes across any natural disaster or any issues, what you can do is you can rebuild the entire application or the entire data. You can restore it from your offsite copy, offsite backup. So generally you move the tape to offsite location to preserve your company's data. So but now what they are doing is the cloud is being used as an offsite. Here it is online data transfer. See, with tape, you had a lot of challenge. If there is a disaster, you never know whether the tape that you are bringing back will work with the latest tape library, or whether you have the proper catalog which is available to restore the data. So there are a lot of unknowns with your offsite tape backup. Whereas with cloud backup, it is online. You are moving the data, and whenever you have a need, you can go and restore the data from the cloud copy. So here we are storing a backup of your data, or you are storing the data on the cloud. So cloud can be acting as a secondary copy or a kind of offsite copy. Even you can do a high availability configuration by having active server on-prem, and then you can have a passive server available on cloud. That is also possible. Even you can have an active servers from on-premises and also in the cloud. See, certain companies, they also go with this cloud bursting concept. See, whenever there is a high need, for example, currently Amazon and Flipkart is having a sales until today, right? So whenever there is a peak demand, only that time you can go and add more virtual machines, add more capacity to cater the need of the end user. And when the need is coming down, when the demand is coming down, you can reduce the amount of compute or capacity that you have provisioned. So cloud bursting is only for the high peak load need. You will add more servers on the cloud, and when the demand comes down, you can reduce the servers on the cloud side. On premises will have always a stable amount of resources provision. Only during the need, only during the high peak usage or requirement, you will add more servers on the cloud side. That is what we call it as cloud bursting. And in some cases, you also go with business continuity. When your on premises systems are down, you will have some backup copy on the cloud, or you will have a disaster recovery environment configured on the cloud side, and you can fail over or switch to the cloud environment. So you can have a on-prem as the primary location, and cloud data center as the secondary location for your business to continue, or business continuity, or disaster recovery. And you can also do some kind of tiering. Okay, so you can have the hot copy of your backup in your on-premises. You can have the infrequently accessed data in your cold storage on the cloud, or you can also archive your unwanted, rarely used data, rarely used content in your public cloud. So only the active content, frequently used data can be put in your on premises. The rarely used or infrequently accessed data, you can move it to public cloud, and whenever it is needed again, you can bring it to the hard tier whenever you need it. So these are all some examples where you have a mix of on premises as well as the public cloud. So your public cloud can act as a hosting websites, web application, or web services will be on the public cloud, and the backend data, or the data that is critical to the business, will be kept only in the on premises. So these are some top 5 use cases. And with private cloud, as I told you, this is for a dedicated organization. So here you still have the challenge, right? So with public cloud, with private cloud, you still have to invest on your data center. See, if you want to have more capacity, if you want to give additional storage or additional size, you have to have upfront investment is here. So you have to invest for your on-premises data center, and here no upfront investment. And here you can, I mean, there is no capex here, right? So here you have the capital expenditure or upfront investment, and here you can have apps can be, I mean, it's like can be agile, or you can quickly provision the application. Here there is a time where you have to wait until your applications are coming up. Okay, so there is this minor delay here, because like you need to find out whether you have the infra or you have the application. If you have the space available, you have the capacity available, you can go and do that. Here it is pay as you go model in public cloud. Here you have to invest on everything. You have to purchase the capacity for the peak load or the peak thing. So you have to do the purchasing for the peak load or the peak sizing. Okay, so here also you have to go for the maintenance is done by the provider, I mean the customer in private cloud, and you have to do the management and maintenance of your physical data center. So you are responsible for hardware maintenance, firmware upgrade, BIOS update, replacing OS or upgrading OS, upgrading hardware, replacing the network device every 7 years. All those things you have to take care of in the private cloud, whereas in the cloud, provider is taking care of, provider is managing the infra and all the different apps and OS and stuff. So now coming to the private cloud specifically, see, you cannot call your on-premises data center as a private cloud overnight, right? So there has to be certain characteristics or certain stuffs which makes up all these data center, right? So